In New York, you can't have more than 10 people in your home. That ruling coming just in time for the holidays. Betsy McCaughey, a former lieutenant governor of New York and columnist at the New York Post, joins us now. Also, Vikas Bajaj, a Republican strategist and federal attorney. Betsy, it seems if you've got a big family and live in New York State, the governor does not want you celebrating Thanksgiving together this year.
Well, let me talk directly to the people of New York State. Do not let this turkey of a governor interfere with your holiday plans. Use your own judgment about what is safe. Because the fact is that Governor Cuomo has imposed so many limits in New York, they are not science-based. I'll give you an example. He just said that gyms have to close at 10 o'clock. Gyms are where healthy young people go, people the least likely to become seriously ill with COVID. And in fact, if you keep the gyms open till midnight or later, the people inside the gym will be even more spread out, less likely to transmit the disease. Scientists have almost reached a consensus now that lockdowns don't work. Better to target the protection at those most vulnerable, including the elderly.
Right. Some great points Betsy brings up there. As we say, these bars, restaurants, gyms, they all have to close now at 10 p.m. in New York State. A medical expert had previously come on the program. He could not pinpoint the reasoning for the difference between COVID concerns at 9:59 and 10 p.m. But Vic, what could these restrictions really mean for the business owners?
Well, it's amazing. I mean, you have an extraordinary panel. Come on over here to California. It's just amazing how the statistics are leaving our politicians with the exact same conclusion at the exact same time. Happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas to everyone out there. What does it do for the small businesses? It absolutely annihilates them. Here on Saturday morning, we are starting a new tier, a purple tier of restrictions in California. Bars, restaurants, salons, places of those small businesses that support our community are no longer able to survive to the point that they can even pay their bills. It's an absolute disaster, and it's a disaster many believe that is specifically by design.
As you say, it's not just New York, it's not just California, because now we're hearing from Joe Biden and his own sort of coronavirus task force group that he's assembled, saying that the U.S. should go into a total national lockdown for 6 weeks to avoid what he describes as virus hell. And the federal government can borrow money to pay workers while the country is shut down. Now, Betsy, you know, it hasn't been too long ago since Joe Biden said that he wouldn't shut down the economy, he would just shut down the virus. But based on what his medical experts are saying, I don't know if that's the case.
Well, that's right. And let me point out that the scientific proposals to shut down from Michael Osterholm and Biden's other advisors are contrary to what most scientists are now concluding. The first lockdown, that was to get hospitals ready, build more beds. But now we have bed capacity, we have new therapeutics, we know how to treat these patients, even though the cases are soaring, the death rates are not. If lockdowns worked, and we know they don't, then Europe would not be in the middle of a second wave of this virus because they did lock down. We cannot afford lockdowns. The impact on businesses, on people's lives, the increase in suicides, drug addiction, alcoholism, all kinds of deaths of despair because of these lockdowns, they cannot be justified. And it's really quite awful that Joe Biden lied about it during the campaign, and then literally days after he's considered the purported winner, he's talking about lockdowns.
Lockdowns aren't the only thing, too. We just had some good news from Pfizer recently about their vaccine. Yes. But another one of Biden's top advisors apparently doesn't want all Americans to get the vaccine first. Dr. Zeke Emanuel reportedly wants to distribute the vaccine to the rest of the world before it's available to all Americans in the U.S. Vic, what might be the reasoning for that?
Well, I believe this is Dr. Emanuel, the brother of former Chicago Mayor Emanuel, and it's no surprise the way he's believing. You know, here's the thing. Governors around the country need to be able to say one thing, which they're having extraordinary difficulty doing. We are starting a mini-me warp speed. The problem is that nobody wants to give Donald Trump the credit for the warp speed project, which is the genesis of Pfizer's solution. And if this can be carried on to where this vaccine is not distributed to our loving citizens of this fine country until around, let's say, January the 20th, well, that would just be so much better for the public position and the perception of the Biden campaign and what will be eventually, in their minds, the presidency, of course, up for debate. It's absolutely disgusting that this vaccine is not pushed out faster and faster to get into us, the people that really need it, to get us back on track.
All right. Always a pleasure talking to both of you. Betsy McCaughey, Vic Bajaj, thank you both very much. Take care.
Thank you.